Most of the flowers indoors, so go ahead, frost away. Don't get spooked on the streets. The young ones are ready to pound the pavement in search of treats. To keep any nasty tricks from spoiling the fun, we have Sherry Sage with Safe Kids Kansas here, and she is looking especially festive today. Thank you for being here, Sherry.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, there's a real reason that you're wearing the blinky pumpkin light necklace besides just being in the Halloween spirit.
Absolutely. Halloween is one of the most dangerous evenings for child pedestrians, over the course of the year. So it's really important. We always say it's important for kids to both see and be seen. So that means making sure that they are visible especially to drivers. So we said, do
the blinky
put on
lights.
the blinky lights. You can use things like reflective tape, put that on their costumes or their trick-or-treat bags. Glow sticks, the kids love the glow sticks.
And these are fun because they're like in little ghost shapes.
Absolutely. So, you can be festive. This is kind of a little more boring, but this is also a reflective tape. But again, put things on the costume so that they're really visible to drivers. And of course, we're reminding drivers, this time of year, kids are really excited to be out trick-or-treating, and they are really candy focused. And so they may move in unpredictable ways. We also have kids out in the evening at a time that they normally would probably be indoors. So we want to remind drivers that, especially in residential areas, to slow down, pay attention, put away any distractions. Be especially careful when you are making turns. If a child might be crossing the street, and make sure that you see them, backing out of driveways, things like that. So just slow down, be hyper vigilant, looking for these children who are out to have the best night of their lives.
Well, because you know how excited you are about getting the candy, and you're going to be looking in your pumpkin like this, wanting to know what the person just gave you, instead of maybe looking for the cars crossing the streets.
Right, that's why we also tell parents, make sure, especially if your children are going out on their own. Now, we don't recommend that children under age 12 go trick-or-treating by themselves. They should always have either an older sibling or an adult going with them. It's great to go in groups, have a predetermined route that you're familiar with that neighborhood, but also that it's a great idea to have a cell phone with you in case maybe there's a trip and a fall, maybe someone gets injured or they just get tired. But to make sure that you are not distracted by that phone while you're walking and crossing the street.
Absolutely. What about the costumes themselves? And most people maybe have their costumes planned already, but let's give them another second once over. What should they be keeping in mind?
Absolutely. We prefer face makeup versus masks because it helps with their visibility, being able to see, but also making sure that the costume fits them properly, shoes and things like that, so it's not a trip and fall hazard. And then also looking for costumes that are that have a non-flammability standard to them. So now we do recommend that, again, just so that kids are safe from that when you have your decorations out, your jack-o'-lanterns, these battery-powered candles are really the way to go. That way you don't have open flame, so you don't have to worry about that flammability of the costumes.
Yep, Alan Stahl at the fire department was just here this week talking about it. But those would serve another purpose as well, and that is most of us don't necessarily have our entire sidewalk up to our front door lit for the trick-or-treaters. So those, I imagine, would be good to serve that other part of visibility for people who are maybe walking up
Absolutely.
your sidewalks.
You can use these, or you can make luminaries or any other type of lighting that helps kids to see that path to your home. We also tell trick-or-treaters to not cut across lawns, try and stick to the sidewalks, because you don't know what hazards might be in someone's yard when it's dark out. So yeah.
And the leaves are covering the yards too. Okay, we get the candy back. We've filled our whole entire bucket, and I'm keeping it all for me. No, just kidding. When we get the bucket back filled with candy, what should parents be doing, and why should kids not get mad if the parents do it?
It's really tough, but you have to tell your kids that not to dig into the treats until they get home and you have a chance to do a quick inspection. We always recommend that you go with the pre-packaged treats unless they come from someone's home that you personally know.
Absolutely. Any other big headlines for Halloween this year that we should be keeping an eye out for?
Really, that's the main things. Is the highlights is that you want to. Oh, I guess I should say make sure that you talk to your kids and tell them not to chew on glow sticks.
This is
that
true.
may seem random, but our friends at the Kansas Poison Center said this actually happens pretty frequently.
Well, because you get those sticks that have sugar in them, and maybe you think that that's what that's going to be.
They just they have it around their neck and it's so close to their mouth and they'll chew that. So maybe that's the new message for this year to add on to all of our other standard safety messages.
Well, and not only that, but some people give little toys that have those button batteries in them. And if
Yes.
those would get broken and fall out in your treat bucket and you're just kind of grabbing a handful, you might be like, oh, what's this interesting new different thing?
Absolutely.
If the moms and dads haven't checked it out.
Fortunately, a lot of those children's toys do have standards, so they come with the little tiny screws that we all hate because there's that
Yes.
screwdriver that's hard to replace the battery. But the reason for that is those button batteries are extremely dangerous if they're swallowed by children.
All good reminders. Be safe out there, everyone. And of course, the City of Topeka's big trunk or treat event at Evergy Plaza is happening from 5:30 till 8 tonight. Washburn has a couple things on campus. So Sherry, good reminders as we're heading out and about. Thank you, as always.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. In